Well, hello, crafty family. How are you doing today? I am Eve with the baby's booty. And tonight, we are going to be talking about colors, all about colors, how to choose the perfect color every time. All right. So that's been a major question by a lot of folks over time. And so, what we're going to do tonight is we are going to delve into colors with the tools that I have found that has made the process so stinking simple that I know you will do well with them. All right. And aside from that, I also wanted to check in with everyone, let everyone know that there has been a change on the website in regards to the flock, the purple flock. So that's been updated. The amounts have increased in the flock, but we'll talk about that a little bit more here later in the show. Also, we have some really awesome information to give to you guys in regards to the upcoming year of Bling Fest 2024. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that as well. Speaking of Bling Fest 2023, we got our professional pictures in. So if you are a person who was at the Bling Fest, I emailed you out the link to the pictures online where you can go on there and you can download your pictures or you can order your pictures and have physical copies sent to you. They're not coming from me. I'm not the one sending them. It's the photography company. But if you wanted to get your digital proofs and then have them printed yourself elsewhere, that's perfectly fine. But the link to that should have been emailed to you. Well, it was emailed to you. I triple and double and quadruple check to make sure everybody got that or had the email sent to them. Now, whether or not your email server got it to you or not, I don't know. But if you are in the Facebook group for the Bling Fest, then your link is in the chat there as well. All right. So, worst case scenario, just shoot me an email and say, hey, I didn't get the link, and I'll send it back out to you. All right. But check your spam. At any rate, we also are going to touch on another question that one of our viewers, Sandra, requested in regards to putting your embroidery designs on a flash drive and getting it put onto your embroidery machine, no matter which embroidery machine it is that you have. So we're going to touch on that. That should be pretty quick. And then we will get into the colors. So hopefully she's in here now and we can go ahead and get that going. But meanwhile, I hope you had a great week. I had an awesome week. We spent a lot of time getting things put back in place and coming back in from out of town. I had a great week off, even though we did come back a little bit early. And then Friday, we did some embroidery with Patrice on her channel, Very Craftable Things. If you haven't checked that out, please go and check out Craftable Things YouTube page and check out the video where we did some embroidery. We did an in the hoop project, and I have mine right here. I have the first one. This is a what's called a mug rug. Okay, so this is all done in the embroidery hoop. And what that means is, how can I put it? So usually when you do a sewing project like this, right, you would get maybe a placemat or a coaster or something, and you put it on the embroidery machine and you embroider on it. But with an in the hoop project, which this is an embroidery hoop, okay, this is the hoop that goes on the embroidery machine. When you do an in the hoop project, is basically what it sounds like. Everything is done in the hoop. Creating the item and embroidering on the item is done inside the hoop. And there are so many projects that we've done in the hoop, from creating zipper pouches where all of that is done in the hoop. There's nothing extra that you do outside of the embroidery hoop, to making key fobs, to all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested in getting into doing embroidery, we do intend to do some more embroidery videos, especially in the hoop projects. Those are my all-time favorite things to do with the embroidery machine. And you can do that with a 4x4 hoop as well as a 5x7 hoop, and even bigger. So we have a lot of 4x4 projects that you can do. So even if that's the only size machine you have, we can do projects with that too. Okay. So in the hoop project, this is the one that I did, and I made a boo-boo on it, which is why I have it, and it looks a little bit rough, and I'll show you the better versions. But what I did was, when I did it in the hoop, I trimmed my seams too close, and so it didn't close all the way, and that kind of sucks because I thought that was super cute. But I redid them, and so these two are for my grandbabies teachers. All right. And so front and back, these are mug rugs. So basically it's a big coaster. That's pretty much all it is. So we take a coffee mug, set it on it, and it's super cute. That's pretty much the cut and dry of what this is. So we did 2 mug rugs that look like notebook paper, and then I put coordinating fabric on the back for fall theme type stuff. And then I made 2 extra ones. See the heart quilting on there, super cute, super cute. And then some coordinating fabric on the back, because I did the color coordinating that I'm going to teach you guys about tonight. All right. So I did that, and it turned out super cute. So if you didn't see that video, please take a moment to go back and watch that. And if you're interested in doing embroidery, please go watch that then as well, because we had a really good time. All right. So I'm going to jump in the chat really quick because I do see some. Hey, Sam, how are you? You said you stayed up. Well, I guess I need to do the news a little bit early then, don't I? Jennifer, you're dying to learn about the embroidery machine. We definitely will be doing some more with the embroidery machine. So thank you guys for joining us. And then I saw somebody say something about a baby. So I want to grab that. Oh, Sandra, you are here. Okay, cool. Let me see. Welcome to everyone. I normally say hi to everyone, but this is going to be kind of power packed, so I may wait till a little bit later. But welcome. Thank you for coming to hang out with us tonight, because this is going to be a pretty, not heavy, but I think you're going to absolutely love it, because it tickled me to learn what I was doing wrong in picking my colors. Carol DeLong got her baby Cricket Joy extra last Wednesday. Have to try it out. Almost finished revamping her craft room. Well, congratulations, Carol DeLong, on your new baby. And we ring bells for the new babies. So if you got a new baby and it's already there, not that you ordered it, but you already have it, let us know so that we can ring the bell for you. Congratulations on your new baby. Holla. Yes, honey. Yes. Welcome. And then welcome, congratulations. That's what I meant to say, because I read that Man City Fan is here from the Eastern Shore of Maryland. Welcome. That's what I was saying welcome for. That's what happens when you read and ring at the same time. Welcome to you, Man City Fan. Thank you. Hey, Miss Viola Floyd. And thank you to all of the folks who did join us for the Bling Fest. We had a ball. And so for those of you who did not make it, hopefully some of the folks will share some of the really nice pictures that we took at the Bling Fest. I did share a couple from the dinner and let you see the fun that we did have. And thank you to those of you all who have already given me feedback in regards to the virtual tickets as well as the in-person tickets. I appreciate all feedback. I really do. Thank you so very much. There was some who had offered room for improvement. There were some who said there couldn't have been anything better. The majority of the folks, it was everything and then some. So I am very grateful for all of that. And I do take all suggestions into consideration. May not be able to implement everything, but I did take everything into consideration. Patricia Chapman, congratulations on your Romeo. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes, that Romeo is what's up. And Jennifer said, "Oh, you got the Viking embroidery. Okay, so we will be doing some embroidery with you then. Congratulations on your Viking embroidery, baby. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes." And Miss Carol DeLong has been a member for 5 months. We do ring the bell for memberships too. So thank you, Miss Carol. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes. I don't know why my bell is wanting to act like Patrice's bell. I'm going to have to figure that out. Crafting is my business. Good evening, my dear. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much for being here with us. Dennis Cheatham. Dennis, did I get an email from you today? If I did not see it, but I'm sure something is there. Hey, Dawn's World. Let me scroll. Hey, Sister Care. I'm just scrolling real quick, you guys, and then I'm going to get into. I guess I'm gonna have to get into the announcement because I want to make sure Sam gets that. Hey, craftable things, honey bunny. I was riding the bus a little bit today. Hey, Richie. Hey, Sheila Cushionberry. You're welcome, Diane Phil. Hopefully I said that correctly. Hey, Cheryl Tisdale. Hey, Angel B, honey bunny. Hey, Make It with Marilyn. All right. Let's see. Oh, you did send me an email then, I guess, because Sheila Cushberry just said something. Miss Gail Designs has been a member for 5 months as well. Congratulations, Miss Gail. Holla. Yes, honey. Yes. Miss Gail was there at the Bling Fest too. We had a ball. We had a whole ball. Thoroughly enjoyed having Miss Gail and hosting everyone who was there. I am so grateful. Thank you so much. Patricia Johnson got a 16 by 20 Ricoma heat press. Holla! Yes, honey. Yes, congratulations. I know Sam is probably like, will you quit with the mail and just tell us already? Okay, let's see. I'm going down. So generally, and I'm gonna get to Dennis. Okay, I'm at the bottom. I'm gonna get to Dennis's designs here in a little bit. But first off, let me go ahead and let you guys know about the upcoming Bling Fest 2024. Okay, so the Mr. and I had a lot of fun. We thoroughly enjoyed the Bling Fest. It was everything and then some. Looking at the pictures and everything just had me welling up with tears because it was just so awesome. Would I change some things if I could have? Possibly, but for the most part, it really was as amazing as I had hoped it would be. So, saying all of that to also actually adding to that, this is my 6th year, I believe, in dealing with rhinestones. But as far as hosting rhinestone parties, I did host small rhinestone parties in the past. So, somewhat familiar with how it works. Not somewhat familiar, pretty familiar with how it works. But this was my first major event where we actually hosted people and had people come and stay, and hotel involved in the whole nine, from food to everything. All right, so that was my very first time doing it that way, because generally with our bling parties, we did not do totally. Tanya says your husband saw the pictures we took and thinks we have a strong resemblance. Hey girl, we might be. Tell him we definitely bling family. But as far as putting everything together and hosting a whole event, this was the first major one, and I feel like I did a pretty dang good job for it to be my very first one. All right, not to my own horn, because it was a collaborative effort rather, among quite a few people. So some decisions that were made, I'm sure didn't. Anyway, let's not get into that. What I do want to get into is this. We know that it was about 6 months out. Number one, before I get into this, it was right at about 6 months from announcement to execution. And that wasn't quite a lot of time for folks to save. Although I did set it up where you could pay with like Klarna or something like that to make it a little bit easier to handle the payments. But we do know that there were quite a few folks who would have loved to have been there. We also know that we're on the East Coast. We got quite a large crowd that follows us from California, a large crowd that follows us in Texas as well. So, what I want to let you guys know for the 2024 Bling Fest year is this. What we are going to do is we are now going to offer 2024 Bling Fest, which is going to be towards the end of summer, first of fall, kind of sort of like it was. But we are also going to do bling flings as well. So there should be, if I'm planning correctly, I know definitely one other bling fling coming up this year. It's not the Bling Fest, it's a bling fling. So the difference between the Bling Fest and the bling fling is the Bling Fest is going to be exclusive. The Bling Fest is still going to be very secret. Okay. I'm not playing that. It's still going to be very secret. I'll let you know the area that it's going to be in. The other change to the Bling Fest is if the other change to the Bling Fest is it will be accommodations only. All right. I know that doesn't sit well with a lot of people. Sorry. So the accommodations only means that you will be on site for the Bling Fest. That's the whole point in it being like a over the top, super awesome, super fun, exclusive event for the Bling Fest 2024. Does that mean no more virtual tickets? I'm not sure. There's a good possibility I will not do virtual tickets for that, but I'm not sure. Okay, I gotta work that part out myself. That's a personal me decision, even though Mr. McQuackins does have a lot of influence on it. But I'm just looking at how things went with 2023 and trying to make sure that 2024 is better. All right. And so we may not, but the bling flings, the price is not going to be the same. The price is going to be more affordable because there will not be a meal involved. Like, I'm not going to do a plated dinner or anything like that. I'm not going to do catered lunches. I'm not going to do, what else was it? There's no accommodations involved at all. And the bling flings will come to city near you, possibly. So over time, as we do more bling flings, right now we're planning two for 2024 and the Bling Fest. But the two Bling Flings, we're trying to get them more centrally or west located, okay, to make it easier for folks to come and attend. Can you attend all of them? Heck yes, you can. Please be there front and center for every last one of them. But it will be set up the same. It's still a big bling party. It's a bling fling, okay? But it's a one-day event. You're going to come, you're going to have a good time, and you're going to bling. Now, eventually, will it be more than one day? I don't know. Right now, we're trying to approach this from a let's see how this works standpoint and do one day and see how it works versus like, hey, let's go for the gusto and do a whole week affair. I'm not going to do that. But again, the event will be when we do set it up and determine where the location is going to be for the Bling Flings, not the Bling Fest. We ain't even going to talk about Bling Fest no more because that announcement will come a little bit later after the first of the year. But for Bling Flings, once the location is revealed and let you know where it is going to be, then good night, Miss Carol. Then you can show up. You can do however you want to do. You could come if you want to come and bling with everybody else. Okay. Whether influencers will be there or not, I don't know. They'll probably let you know if they intend to come and all of that jazz. But we will have invitees to the Bling Fest, even though I just said I wasn't gonna mention that again. But there are invitees that will be there for Bling Fest. Um, but Bling Fling, that's gonna be open. So that's the plan. Yes, Bling. Well, now I'm not sure about around the world. I'm not sure about around the world. We might. I mean, I don't see why not. It would be fun. I'm just saying. A heifer really got the dust off a passport in order to do that. But let's see what we're going to do. So the first question I see, so fling, give location. Yes, that is absolutely correct. The bling fling is, hey, party at my house. This is the address. Show up. That's the bling fling. Not the Bling Fest. And Tracy Murray, I'm already looking. I am not lying to you. I'm already looking at Vegas. Don't play. Miss Carla Thomas, congratulations on your PEA 100. Holla. Yes, honey. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. So, yes, you can go ahead and say, you know what? Would you like to come to this area? Go ahead, throw it out there. We again for the first two, we've kind of narrowed the area not the city, not the state, but we know about where we want to be. So definitely Midwest and definitely West Coast area. But a lot of that is going to be because, of course, we want the tickets to still be, even more affordable than affordable. So we have to find a location that can host a certain amount of people. Tickets will probably be limited again, not by a whole heck of a lot, but it will be limited because we will have to find a location that will hold a certain amount of people. And then I forgot to cut templates out for all these folks. I'm just saying, because that was another thing that came up. So I have to make sure all of that is done and done properly. Picture me crafting. Merlinda Lacey got a new brother, SE 1900. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes. So I'm hoping that you guys will love the idea of a bling fling. I will say that I absolutely loved hosting bling parties in the past. It was a lot of fun. It wasn't a lot of pressure because I wasn't feeding people. Again, I wasn't putting people up anywhere. I mean, it was just like, hey, here's the heat press, here's some shirts, here's your stones, and let's get and the tools and let's get at it. And that was so super simple. It wasn't too terribly much to it. Everybody just wanted to come together and bling and have a good time. So it's kind of more like a blingy get together, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? A little less pressure. But the Bling Fest, a heifer still intends to go all out and have a wonderful time, have folks looking absolutely gorgeous, because you cannot tell me that did not turn out to be fantastically gorgeous and wonderful. Okay. Oh, and yeah, you can bring your friends and family. I'm just saying, it's not, and folks did bring family with them to the Bling Fest, but because there was food and da 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 da, it had to be kind of restricted where you won't have to worry about that with a Bling Fling. Okay. So that was the announcement. Pop up Bling Fling, not quite pop up, not quite, because it's going to have to be planned out. I can't go to somebody's backyard and be like, hey, let's throw this together as much as I would like to. But I can't do it that way. It has to be, structured. And so we've already started the planning stages and contacting contacts and all of that jazz, checking out the weather and figuring out all that other jazz. We've already started all of the process to getting to that. But I just wanted to let you guys know. So Bling Fest 2024, yes, definitely in the works. Invitation only. You got to stay on site. It is what it is. Yeah, she ain't getting in. But the Bling Flings will be more open. More folks can come. Not as restricted. You don't have to worry about food and all of that because you're gonna feed yourself and all that other jazz. Okay, so that's what that's going to be. Children, you can. My only thing with kids is 12 and unders tend to not really respect the rhinestones as much as I would like for them to. The bling parties that I did for children 12 and under were disasters. I swear it was. Now, in this instance, if you have your child and you can control your child with your rhinestones, then that's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to sound funny. I'm just going off of my experience, and it was tragic. Like, I was very upset. They didn't respect the bling when it came to the food. They didn't respect it when it came to picking the stones up and put the stones back in the containers. They didn't respect it when I said don't mix the stones. I mean, it was a whole hot mess. And I can't direct other people's children. I can direct mine and thump folks upside the head, but I can't do that with your kids. So I'm just saying, eh, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I really don't have too big of an issue with someone who doesn't mind if their child is into bling and wants to bling and can be respectful of everybody else and the bling, then yes. Because I think my grandbabies did pretty good because they knew Grammy was gonna kill them dead if they had acted up too bad at the Bling Fest, and they were there, but they weren't blinging. And at one point, one of them almost knocked the whole table over. So you see what I'm saying? Grandpa about jerked the knot in that tail. So you see what I'm saying? It can go either way. You know what I'm saying? It really can. But for right now, we'll say, as long as the child can, as long as the child can be respectful will say I don't see that there will be necessarily a problem. Oh, Sharon Davenport, I need you to email me. I just need you to email me. Honestly, that's where that's gonna go down. Email me, my love. Yeah, they were hiding under the rhinestone table. Oh, the oh, the See, and I can't other people's kids. You know what I'm saying? Because that just comes off like, oh, you ain't gonna tell my kids what to do. I'm like, look, there's an understanding here. If they at my house, I'm gonna be able to tell them no. Period. Okay, but this ain't gonna be my house. This is gonna be an event. It's a little bit different. And anyway, so let's not get into that. So thank you for your questions. If you have any other questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I will definitely. She said start over. I am starting. I'm starting over right now. She said have ones that bring kids pay a deposit. Oh no. Woo, child, because you ain't lying. I had to pay a deposit. Anyway, I mean, it is what it is. Not everybody raises their kids the same. And I raised mine not quite the way I was raised, but real darn close. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't want to sound offensive because it is what it is. But because a lot of our crowd tends to be a more mature crowd, it can make it difficult if young folks aren't because I don't want folks running around. I had a couple of people who were using walking assisted devices. And if a child, like if my grandkids was running around and knocked into somebody and knocked somebody down, I would have been mortified. You know what I'm saying? So it's like today, me and and I'm getting off subject, but like today, me and my husband was at a restaurant and the lady getting our favorite little hole in the wall breakfast spot. And the lady jumps up and her kid is 5, maybe even 6. A little girl, super cute as she could be, hair braided. She knew what she was doing, but she took off and she run clean to the other side of the restaurant. No, and she get up and go get her. You come here, and she took her right back to where she was. And I kid you not 5 seconds later, the little girl took off running for the other side of the restaurant again. And I'm like, everybody in that restaurant was like 60 and 70 and older, except for her, me and my husband, and like one other person and a couple of the waitresses. A lot of the folks in there, especially the time we go, are older. So it's like, fam, why ain't you holding this child's hand to keep her from tearing slap through the darn restaurant, bumping into people because she did, stuff like that. And I don't want to get into this because it's like, the way I look at things could be different from the way other people look at things. But as a whole, over a majority, it's like you want to make sure that we're all respectful. And y'all would look at me real crazy if I tore through a place and started bumping into folks. I'm old, I'm grown, but little people can learn that too, is all I'm saying. But anyway, sorry. Hopefully that didn't offend anybody. It may have, and I apologize. But at the same time, this is how I raise my children and grandchildren because I expect the same off of them as I do other people. Just like I told my son the other day, if you were in Patrice's chat, you heard what I told her about my grandbabies and what happened with one of them in particular. And I told him, that's on you because I'm over here where I told them to be. You took them over there. So now that's on you. And what happened was on him. And he knew that. He acknowledged that. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying, I'm only Grammy. I'm only Grammy. That to this creation. Hi, Dorita. Thank you, honey bunny. Yes. I know she would me. And it's not really so much punishment, it's just control. For me, it's control. If I'm not trying to be absolute dictatorship control, but just a respectful level of control. That's all. Some restaurants are trying. Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know that they'll be able to get away with that though, because I mean, there are instances where unruly is unruly. It's unruly is unintentional because there are children who are on a spectrum that just, I mean, they can't help the fact that they're on a spectrum. I understand that, and long as I know what in the world is going on, it's okay. Now, if you're older and you can understand right from wrong and you still choose to do wrong, that's unacceptable. But if the majority is on a certain playing field and little people, some little people can't help it. And I know that. I understand that. I have family that's autistic. So it's like I know. But at the same time, there's a lot of folks who might be on the spectrum, but they still understand consequences for actions, and we don't want to have to deal with that. But anyway, let's get off that soapbox. Let's go to having fun. So again, the announcement for Bling Fest 2024 is there is a Bling Fest for 2024. It is going to be all that and then some bag of chips. We're talking about like top notch, having a lot of fun, dinner paid for, hotel paid for, all of that is inclusive. Rather, everything is inclusive, and you have to be there, kind of like a cruise. It's not a cruise, but kind of like, you got to be on site in order to get all of these benefits. And that's what because I could, when I did do a cruise, you had to be on the ship. You know what I'm saying? So in this instance, you have to be on the ship in order to have fun at the Bling Fest 2024. But if you would choose to make your own accommodations, then we do have Bling Flings that will be coming to an area closer to you. Okay, so hopefully we'll have more fun. All right, so I'm gonna start with Miss Sandra because Miss Blue Lotus asked a question earlier in Callaway. I need to be ashamed. My brain just that all of that talking about kids and whatnot just kind of. I'm pretty sure it's Stephanie because my brain is fried right now. It's been a long day, and I actually Charmaine, and I actually started to come on 30 minutes early, but I had to do a woosah. But at any rate, Charmaine's live earlier, she asked about saving designs to USB and putting them on the machine. And it's fairly simple, but there's one little thing that people tend to overlook that I'm going to mention. So when we're talking about USB, of course, we're talking about all of these little doodads right here that you would use to put files on and put them in a machine. Now, I will say that these multiples that you get off of Amazon, where you can get like 20 for $3, avoid those because these are starting to break on me. They're not lasting like I thought they would. And I got like a multi-pack of like 10 of these and it just sucks. So I had to kick out recently and go with this super sleek looking Samsung drive because it had really good reviews on Amazon. I had to pay a little more for this, but I feel more comfortable with this not frying and losing all of my embroidery designs, even though my embroidery designs are backed up on my computer. But at the end of the day, you don't want this to go out. You know what I'm saying? So this is one hard drive that I have. This particular one is 128 megabytes. Oh, Jesus, you can tell how old I am. So this is 128 gigabytes, right? This is Samsung. You can use whatever kind you want. Doesn't matter. You can even go as big as you want. But I will say the smaller the drive, the better things work out for you as far as your embroidery designs are concerned. Okay, so let me re-emphasize that. This one is 128 gigabytes, whereas this one is 16. All right, the smaller size, it actually works to your benefit better. Okay, and the reason why is in most instances, I'm thinking of a better way to SanDisk. Flash drives are still my go-to because of the quality, and you want quality. You definitely SanDisk is very good. But say for instance, y'all remember encyclopedias, right? Most of y'all in here knows what an encyclopedia is. They started getting phased out with my kids. My kids don't half know what an encyclopedia is. Well, when you needed to look up something in an encyclopedia, the actual physical encyclopedias, you had to know your alphabetical order. You had to know exactly what you were looking for. the name of what you were looking for, all of that kind of stuff in order to look up what you wanted in an encyclopedia. Well, think about your flash drives the same way. So, how many of you have used flash drives, whether it be for SVG files or for pictures or for your embroidery designs, right? And you got a pretty decent size one because you're like, ooh, I want to be able to fit as many as I could on there. But then when you put it in the computer and you go to try to find the file that you're looking for, you're struggling and you scrolling through files and files and files of information because you're trying to find that one thing that you're looking for in that drive, and it's about to drive you bonkers. Okay. So that's why I say a smaller one makes life easier for you if you're going to be doing a lot of projects and transferring files from your computer to your equipment, whether it be a cutting machine, because you can do this on Juliet and Romeo, or whether it be on the embroidery machine. And like Chris Smith points out, and I definitely want to highlight that, because the more files there are on something like this, the longer it takes for it to sort through. So, for instance, if I go put this larger one with 80 files on it on my red line back there and I plug it in, if I have 80 files, it takes, 10 seconds for it to pull up. Good night, Jennifer. It takes 10 seconds for it to pull up those files, as opposed to if I only had a couple of files on there, it pops right up just like that. Okay. So get a smaller drive, number one. All right. When it comes to transferring designs from your computer to your embroidery machine, especially the ones that take USB. All right. Then the other problem you might be running into that you don't realize. Well, let's start with the one that you might realize. You might not be uploading the correct file extension. The correct file extension. So, what do I mean? When we're doing rhinestone designs, who can tell me what the file extension is that we look for our rhinestone template designs? In most instances, whether it be for Romeo, whether it be for Graph Tech, whether it be for Cameo, whether it be for Cricut, what's the file extension that we are looking for that we want to put SVG? Very good. So that's a file extension. So it's like honeybee.svg. All right. And that's a cut file. That's a cut file extension. Okay. So anything that uses a cut file will automatically know, hey, that file is for me, and it will access those files for you. Well, with your embroidery machines, different embroidery machines use different extensions. Now, sometimes embroidery machines will use commercial files, which is a DST extension. D is in David, S is in Sam, T is in Tom. So some commercial machines will use that. So my red line will use DST and my brother will use DST. But brother prefers to use a P, E, S is in Sam extension. P is in Paul, E is in Edward, S is in Sam. So if you're trying to upload a design to your embroidery machine and it is not a PES and you have a brother, then your brother machine is not going to recognize that file, first and foremost. So you need to have a drive that's a decent size, number one. You need to make sure you have the correct file extension, number two. So you need to find out what file extension it is that your machine uses, because Husqvarna uses, I think it's HSV. Brother is PS. There's JEF. There are darn near 20 file extensions almost of embroidery machine extensions. So check your user's manual to see what file it is, what file format, file extension you need to use for your embroidery machine. And if you cannot find your extension, you don't have a manual, Google your model number of your machine and say Google Singer Futura manual, and it'll pull up. and there'll be a manual right there, and you can thumb through the manual on digital and see what your file extension is. Okay, that's one way to do it. All right, so again, you need a drive, a nice reliable drive. Go for a smaller one because embroidery designs are not that big. You don't need a lot of space for these. So 16 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes is more than enough for embroidery files, and I wouldn't keep no more than maybe 50 on there, and that's, in my opinion, a little bit too much. Okay, and keep them backed up on your computer. But anyway, get a reputable drive that's reliable. Make sure it's a smaller size. Keep a smaller amount on there, and make sure you have the right file format on there. The other thing you need to make sure before, now this is long before we get to even putting it on the machine. You got to make sure this is right first. Super important. So once you get the right file format, you need to make sure you have the right size. You need to make sure you have the right size design, not the file size, but the design size. So for instance, this particular mug rug that we did with Patrice on Friday, this mug rug is a 5x7 design. It's a 5x7 design. So if you have an embroidery machine that only does 4x4, you will not be able to do this design. Now, what tends to fool people, and I'm probably going into a little bit too much information for this because this ain't what this show was about, but some people think that they can split this up into sections and use a repositional hoop and still be able to do this, but you can't because it's 5 inches wide. Okay, 5x7, whereas that machine only does 4 by something, 4x4, 4x6, 4x7. So if it's 4x6, you can't do a 5x6, fam. Does it make sense? If your waist size is 20 inches, you cannot, okay, fit a size 15-inch something because your waist is 20. So I don't care how you do the math, you have to be restricted to that 4x4. Double check your design. All you have to do is upload your design into a program, select the whole design, and then look at the measurement of that design. If that measurement shows anything bigger than 4 inches by something, then you can't do it. It's in your machine is not going to read it. Okay, your machine is not going to read it. So you're going to be trying to put it in the machine, mad at the machine for not uploading. The machine is like, look, fam, I told you I can only hold 4 of something, 4 by something. You're trying to give me 5, and it's not going to pay that any attention. The PE 900 is a perfect machine for a beginner. So make sure your design is the right size. Make sure your design is the right file extension. Make sure that your drive is a decent size, smaller size. Then the biggest thing that just messed me up recently, this messed me up. I was so upset and couldn't figure out why, what the heck, why is this not working? I need to take this file to this thing to have them stitch this out because I didn't have time to stitch it out. So I took it to have it stitched out at lids. I wanted them to do hats for my customer, and I could not get my red line to read the file. I have never had an issue with Redline reading DST files. It would not read the files on my drive for nothing. And I thought my machine was broke. I thought it was broken. So I reset the whole thing, added a new battery to the memory motherboard, wiped the whole stupid thing, got so upset, all this jazz, and still would not read the DST. Do you know why it would not read the DST on this thumb drive? It wasn't my thing, wasn't broken. Nothing was broken with my machine. It was because my drive was not formatted properly. When you format these drives for our embroidery machines, especially these older ones, it needs to be what's called a FAT32 file format. And trust me when I tell you, if I hadn't been one to build and program computers most of my life, I would have been like, what in the whole heck is that? Why are you telling me this? I don't know what that is. That's above my pay grade. And I know it's going to be above a lot of your pay grades. Okay. But this needs to be FAT FAT32. And guess what? Most computers now cannot format in FAT32. You have to download a program to format it to FAT32. Sorry, I know that was a lot. And I'm not going to get into computer, this, that, and the third, but I'm just telling you, yes, honey. Congratulations on your PE 100. Sharon. Hadn't heard of the PE 100. So, yes, you need to format it to FAT32. If you've done everything else that I said, you uploaded the file, it's definitely the right size, it's definitely the right extension. And when you plug this thing in and that computer is that embroidery machine is like, we don't know what this is and we don't see anything on that drive, you might need to format this and start over and then add the files, especially if it's a brand new one of these, because they're not 9 times out of 10 going to be formatted for FAT32. Okay. So hopefully those are my things. Now, if you also need to see how to plug this in and then pull up the design, it's super easy. I can show you. But if you plug it in and then you press the USB button, it looks just like a USB symbol and it'll pull up the designs on your flash drive. That's it. That's all it is to it. That's all it is to it. You're welcome, Lisa. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay. Miss Sandra, holler at me if it wasn't. I'll see about making a video or something for you. But meanwhile, yes, you can. It's very easy to take files from the computer to the machine, but mainly keep your designs backed up on your computer on an external hard drive and only drop 3, 4, 5, 10, maybe 20 designs on this, and then start cleaning them off. Don't leave them on, because you be sitting there scrolling, and for what? You don't have to do all of that. Okay. Yes, try FAT32, because that very well could be the problem, because it was my problem. This was recent, y'all. I'm talking about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, but it was within the last 2 months. It was in the last 2 months. Huh? Oh, a couple of weeks ago. I'm telling y'all, I was almost in tears over that. And that was recent. So had I not been through that, then you probably going through the same thing. I'm just saying. All right, so let's go through something fun. Who wants to learn about colors and picking perfect colors? Because I didn't know how to do it. All right, y'all, let me swap cameras. If you want to learn about colors, put some pretty color hearts in the chat. You can do red, you can do yellow, you can do green, you can do blue, you can do purple. Don't matter, but let's go over here to the candy trays. Woohoo! And hopefully Mr. McQuackers will let me know if my microphone dies, and hopefully it will not. All right. So tonight, I wanted to learn about colors, or show you guys what I found out about colors. Okay. Because one of the things that frustrate me, if you purchase from an authorized dealer, they may sell formatted USB for you. But Josette, that's a beautiful response, because yes, if you go to an authorized dealer, usually they give you everything you need with that machine. But the brother from the store usually does not come with a drive, usually, unfortunately. But if you do the newer embroidery machines, they are Wi-Fi enabled, so you can drag and drop onto the machine, and that saves you a whole heck of a lot of headache right there, fam. Listen when I tell you. Listen, Linda, listen. Get the Wi-Fi enabled ones, okay? And we're gonna unbox one soon here on this channel. All right, so one of the biggest issues that we have had with doing rhinestones, okay, one of the biggest issues that we have is colors. Colors is so frustrating to people except for Patrice. Okay. And yes, I am driving a bus, honking the horn, turn on the windshield wipers, wheel on the bus, go round and round. I'm just saying. Patrice is excellent with colors. But Patrice and a few other people have it naturally. They have a natural ability to pick colors that coordinate very well with each other. But for me, oh Lisa, yeah, I saw the new brother, the new Wi-Fi one. That is pretty cool. But I need me a screen or something. um, but people like me, I'm not super good at it. I can kind of figure my way around, but until recently, Angel B is also good with colors. Yeah, especially her AB colors. Um, it can be a pain. All right. So what I'm going to do is show you guys something that helped me. So I went to a quilt shop while I was in on vacation in Boone. All right. And I bought, now I'm showing you fabric because this, what we're getting ready to learn, goes with embroidery. It goes with quilting. It goes with rhinestones. It doesn't matter. If you have issues with color, then this will help you. Okay. So you will find below in the description a link to 3 different products. You will find a link to this essential color card deck, okay, which says break out of the color wheel, but we don't necessarily have to do that. You'll also find a link to this ultimate 3-in-1 color tool, which is super cool, okay? And you'll also find a link to a take along mini color wheel. Okay, now all 3 of these are made by the same person. Okay, and this is the person right here, Joan Wolfram, JoenWolfram. Okay, and the link to Amazon for these 3 is in the description. Okay, I initially bought this and I loved it so flipping much that I went and got these because these are more mobile friendly, travel with you. This is for when you're at home and you got a little bit more time. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one first. So this is an essential color card deck. And as you see, a lot of it is still in plastic because I wanted you guys to see the full unveiling of it with me as much as possible. Okay. So the color card deck goes into all of the colors. Okay. All of the colors and all of the hues. And then here's the color wheel with the hues. Now, I'm going to have to explain some things to you, but what it boils down to is when we're talking about a hue, we're talking about a color. That's all we're talking about. A hue is a color. A hue is a color. But then you also have what's called tints. You have tints as well, and you have shades. Okay, now I'm not going to be able to go completely into tints, tones, shades, and all of that jazz. We will, because I do intend to do a class on this. But for right now, just understand the coolest thing that I have come to find out is every single color, every color that's out there, I don't care what color it is, every color stems from 3 colors, but then 4 when you add in black or white, but 3 primary colors. And if you think about it, it makes sense. It's cyan, sorry, CYAN, which is blue, yellow, and magenta, which is like this reddish pink. Okay, why does that make sense? Who can, or and then like I said, you add in black to throw in shades and stuff. Why does that make sense? Why does that make sense? Who can relate those 4 colors to something that we all use all the time, which would you be like, oh, that makes sense? Why it all stems from those 4: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Printer colors, Sheila. Gail, printer colors. Those are your primary colors. Those are the primary. So they make all of these other colors. So when you go to buy ink for your printer, you only buy those 4 colors. So out of all of those colors, out of those 4 colors, you get all the colors of the rainbow. Okay. So that's why a color wheel is super cool to show you how to find your complementary colors. Okay. So with this major card deck, you can grab, if you want to go super fancy and get all of these cards that cover just about every shade under the sun, under every variety, so to speak, under the main ones, then you can do that. And so let's say you decide you want to do a shirt with, say, some hyacinth rhinestones. Okay. So this one is hyacinth right here. Hyacinth is like a reddish orange. Okay. And then we also have fabric right here, this reddish orange. What colors would go good with this reddish orange, with this hyacinth? Well, let's go to our color card deck and let's watch through our colors until we find a reddish orange. All right. So if I'm looking at these, and this one is a little bit too brown, this one is a little bit too light, this one is closest so far to what I need to match this. That's what you want. You want to match it to where it's just as close as you possibly can be. Well, then you take this card and you flip it over, and it will tell you how to match these colors. Now, there's a couple of different ways to match colors. That's why I absolutely love this. Oh my God. I was like, this is where has this been my whole life? Okay. So we can do what's called complementary. Complementary. Complementary means exactly what it is. This is a direct complement to whatever it is that you want. Okay. So the complementary color on the color wheel, and I may have to go with the bigger color wheel here in a minute, but the complementary color is directly across from that color on the color wheel. And what is it showing? It's showing like a cyan color. Let me get the bigger card. Let me get the bigger card. Let's do the mini color wheel, because this is pretty much self-explanatory once I pull this out. Okay. So here's the reddish orange. What's directly across? It's like a cyan turquoise-ish color. Directly across from reddish orange. Okay. So okay, microphone died. So going directly across from the orange, reddish orange, is Capri. See? That's a complementary color. So let's see if that looks good. Anybody know of a color a mix that this reminds you of? What mix does this remind you of? So again, this is a complementary color, direct complement to it. So this capri is going to match off gate. She said Broncos. No, wrong mix. I'm talking about here mix. Christy Leo talking about Miami Dolphins. I'm talking about here. That is funny. We got Caprice. My bad. Should have been more explanatory. But yes, that's why those team colors look so good together, because it's a direct complementary color, just like Capri Sun. Okay. So that's one way. That's a direct complementary color. Okay. But another way is called and I'm probably going to explain this wrong, but it's analogous. But just think, what is something that is analog? Just think about, you're already dealing with a wheel. Okay. You're already dealing with a wheel of colors. So when you going across something with colors, think of a clock, right? So we're looking at this reddish orange. So another way to find colors that would go really good with reddish orange is to go in a clock pattern. So all of these colors right here directly to the side of it, These are called analogous. So these would go together really well too. So your reddish orange and then your orange, that would look good together. Then you want to add in your red. So we're going to go with candy apple. Does that not look good together? You could even throw in, let's see, this is the closest to magenta I have. And all of that looks absolutely gorgeous together, does it not? Okay. It looks beautiful. So you could even take this one off and go that route, or you can take this one and take that one off and go that route. But see, it looks absolutely gorgeous together. All because you're playing with the analogous of the color wheel. Okay. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. So let's see. Let's put this back. No, this is the color that we're starting with. So let's put candy apple back. Let's put fuchsia back. You stepped away. What colors are Tiana, I'm gonna need you to not step away, fam. Okay, so this was hyacinth, that was fuchsia, that was candy apple, and we did sun. That was the colors. Okay, thank you, Richie. Those colors, thank you guys. Those colors. Hey, crispy bacon. Those colors go together. Okay, so that's analogous. Okay, so analog. Think of a clock. That's the second way. The third way, triadic. A triadic way is another way to find complementary colors off of this exact same color wheel. And the cool thing is, if you buy the sets, see, they are telling you all of these different ways to find these colors. Okay, so here's the color orange that we're dealing with now. So triadic is you would go and you would find a triangle shape. You would do a triangle shape of this color wheel, and these colors go together. So they're saying green. So let's go with emerald. Actually, let's have some fun with wintergreen. So hyacinth, wintergreen, and they're saying violet. So like a bluish purple. So let's throw in, you could probably even do violet volcano. Purple goes well. We could do, let's do, what is this again? We're going to do this shade of purple. This is your tanzanite. So your green, your orange, and your tanzanite. But it's more of a bluish violet. So, this may not be the best shade to go with, but more of a bluish would go well with that. You see what I'm saying? So this is the triadic version that you can match colors with. Okay. Then the other way to match colors is split complementary. So we went with complementary. What was complementary? Complementary was when it was on this end and directly across from the other end. So this is complementary. Orange, that's the simplest way to match colors. The simplest way is to go from orange and go straight across and do a regular complementary. Then the other way is to start with your color, do analog, and go this way or this way. Two or three or four colors on either side of the main color. So that's analogous. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Okay. So that's another way. Then you have to go, then you can choose triadic. So you can go this way and you can go this way and take those three colors. No matter where you are on this color wheel, it all works the same when you start with the main color. Okay. So back to the reddish orange. So we did complementary, we did analog, and we did triadic. Okay. The other way is called split complementary. Split complementary. So split complementary is when you take this color and instead of doing analog over here or just regular complementary, you go regular complementary and then you split it on this side. So that means you got your turquoise or your cyan. So this time we're going to go with blue zircon, and then we're going to go with aqua green. So let's go with green zircon, and then we'll go with some blue. So what they're saying is this orange will go and complement, like this is your pop color and these are your other colors that can go with it as well. Okay. So this is called split complementary. So that's when you go with the main color, which I know this isn't focusing that well, but you go with the main color, then go across and you grab these colors. That's what I love about this set, because this set takes you from your main color and then you flip it over and it tells you how to find your complementary colors on the color wheel. You don't, it with this, you don't even have to have, I mean, you don't even have to have the color wheel because the colors are all right here in this stack of cards. All right. Or with this one, picture me crafting. I'm trying to teach tonight. I'm trying, ma'am. I'm trying. So with this one, it's the same thing. Now, what I do like about the 3-in-1 color tool, as opposed to the cards and as opposed to the color wheel, is that with the color, these color swatches, you can go to the same color. All right. And it gives you, I don't know how well you can see that, but it gives you hex codes. It also gives you the CMYK and it gives you the RGB of each one of these colors. Okay. So it breaks it, this set breaks it down even more for those who are into more of the so like for people that do sublimation or you know, other things where we would use the actual color code and you need the color code. This is perfect for those folks. Interior designers would carry this around. Okay. So that's what this one is, the exact same thing, the exact same colors, whereas this breaks it down into a smaller, uh, like for instance, this, let's go with this orange color code. This is number 21. See, there's no 21 on here. This breaks it down to 12 basic colors. So yellow is number 1. This orange is number 12. But if you turn it over, then it takes those colors and um it kind of gives you some shaded samples that you can kind of do the same thing with. Go directly across to find the complementary color, or go triadic to find the triadic color, or split complementary or cross. I mean, it's the same thing, and it gives you some shades and some tones. But here, it actually, no, this gives you shades. This actually gives you tones as well. Okay, because shading is when you add white or add black to add shade. Just like shade is black, you under the shade tree is black, is darker. So you add shade or you take away the black and come with the white. But tones is when you add more of, you know, like your, how you get your browns and stuff like that. Okay. So here is your options to help you out. It just depends on what level you're on or how deep you want to get into it. The simplest option is right here. This is the simplest option. So it comes in this little sleeve. It'll fit in your purse. Super cute mini color wheel. It'll help you out even with your rhinestones or with fabric or anything else that you're doing with your color choosing and how to choose the right color. But if you want to be more specific, more detailed, because you're doing more than just bling, then you might want to go with the color cards. Or if you're more into coming up with digital colors and doing things with digital colors, then you might want to go with the 3-in-1 color tool that actually gives you the digital values of each one of these colors. But either way, it does the same thing. So if you go with spring green or any one of these colors on this spring green card, you flip it over and boom, it tells you, it gives you the values that you want to look for right here on the back of the card. So this is going to be like a fuchsia. So any of your spring green, which is winter green, basically. Because see, that matches up there almost perfectly. You want it to match. So you can go with the spring green and you can add that fuchsia and bam, look at that. Perfect match. Perfect color combinations. So if you wanted to do a rhinestone, one of Patrice's gorgeous rhinestone designs where the outline is a specific color, then this is what you want as your primary color. This can be your complementary color. See how that works? And if you want to do, you say, oh, well, her design is 3 colors. Well, let's go back to the color wheel. You can come here and then you can add another shade of green in there to help offset, or you can add some other shades of the pink to help with that. You see what I'm saying? So you could go here and you can add in some violet volcano as a third color, or you can add in let's see, what else do we have in that shade range? You could go with the darkest purple. Yeah, let's see how this looks. You could even do, look at that amethyst that went with that, just because I looked at the color wheel and I saw that darker purple. And I was like, it should work. Let's put it, girl. That looks good. That looks good. That looks really good, y'all. Darn. I mean, I'm mad at myself at how quick I put that together, all because I looked at the color wheel. I would have never put that together. Okay. So LaShawn 71, this set right here, the 3-in-1 ultimate 3-in-1 color tool. This one gives hex codes. This one gives RGB codes, and it gives CMYK codes. And my camera, I can show it better on the other camera, but for right now, you kind of got to take my word for it. So yes, this one does. The other two do not. Yeah, they do. I lied. I just lied. I apologize. I didn't notice that before. This one does as well. The cards, they're down here at the bottom. I never looked at it. So my apologies for being misleading. So the color cards have CM RGB, CMYK, and the hex code at the bottom. I was wondering why they wouldn't have it on there, because it's a whole custom card. But yes, so that's on here too. If you need to find a good color wheel, Sheila Cushionberry is in the description on Amazon. Yes, Gail, I'm trying to tell you this. I struggled with this. I struggled very hard with getting colors and putting colors together. Yes, I did. I'm not just saying that just because. I really did. And I don't want to say I was jealous, but I was like, wow, I wish I could put colors together as well as Patrice and some other people. And I wasn't really that good at it. But once I got a hold to this while we were on vacation, went to the quilt. We were not supposed to look, fam. Look, listen, Linda, listen, Linda, listen. You can't tell me how the good Lord don't direct things sometimes. Y'all been asking about colors. I don't even know about colors, and I need to know how to be mixing colors. And we were on the quest to find a car wash while we were on vacation. Never really go to this side of the town that we were in. Normally don't go there. And we just so happened to be driving through, and we both saw there's a quilt store right there. He was like, have you ever been there? I was like, no, I don't really want to go. I don't quilt. He was like, well, let's go. We had no plans of going to a quilt store. Walked into the quilt store. Long story short, I came across this. I saw it sitting on the counter before I was not about to buy anything. And I saw this box on the counter. This deck of cards, break out of the color wheel. And I said, I got to have it. Got to have it. And once I started reading this and was like, OMG, how simple. It couldn't have been any simple than this. Then this was perfect. And so I had to have it. When I read about this, I found out about this. And when I found out about this, I found out about that. They all go together. They will help you. They will help you. It made a huge difference. And that's how I wound up buying this. Because just like Delonda is saying right now, a lot of it also depends on the fabric that you're putting this stuff on. So let's go to that. Okay. Same principle applies. The same principle applies. Let's go to that. I'm going to put these cards up. Okay. For right now, I'm going to set them right there. Put the lid on it. Okay. And then here's the color wheel. Here's the 3-in-1 color tool. And I'm going to move the fabric swatches to over here. Okay. Because we're going to deal with a different kind of fabric. So also, while I was out of town, I decided that I was going to go have some fun at one of my favorite stores. It used to not be, but it is now. All right. And so that would be Belk. All right. And because of my mother-in-law and her wonderful generosity in teaching me all about the Belk card, I have a Belk card. And so they had a massive sale. So I lost my mind a little bit because they had a really good deal on these long sleeve shirts. And the brand is called Wonderly. It's called Wonderly. And these shirts look so soft and super comfy, and they are. And because I did a purge of my closet recently, I only have like 3 long sleeve shirts. I don't have that many long sleeve shirts at all, actually. So I was trying to find some shirts that would work well with leggings. So these are long sleeve. They're super soft, and they're long enough to cover my fat roll and my behind in them leggings, because I'm not going to have my butt out with them leggings if I can at all help it. And so I got these shirts, and I got them in several colors. Well, that was before I went to the quilt store. I was just going off of basic colors. And I was like, oh, maybe I could bling these shirts. Well, now I know I can, and I won't feel bad. Now, my original thought was tone on tone. So, Delonda, one of the things that I do keep in mind when I'm doing rhinestones is tone on tone works no matter what. So, this olive green, even Mr. McQuackins, I got him trained, y'all, him trained. I don't like to say having a man trained, but this man is trained now. That's olivine. Oh, that's hyacinth. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's, I'm like, look at this. Yes, that's my man over there knowing these colors right. Okay. So this is olivine. Olivine on this shirt would be gorgeous with the right design or some simple accents or something on this shirt. This olivine would be beautiful. Okay. But we're going to take it a step further. All right. We're going to take it a step further. So this is olivine. So we're going to go, the way you use these cards is you go to the color that is the closest to your color. Don't go too far over or too far back. Okay. So this is a chartreuse color. So according to this card, and if I lay this on there, this one right here, I wouldn't have picked this first because it's like a yellowish green. I was thinking more of this, but look, I'm holding it up, and you can see from down below up here how close in color that it is. So these are the colors. Whereas if I go on here, see, notice those are too green. It has a little bit too much green in it to match that shirt perfectly. This is it. And that's what you want with this type of matching thing. You want it to match as close as possible. And that's what this one right here is. Okay. So we know this is chartreuse color. Your dog just jumped up from a dead sleep in here. Shut up when you squeal. My bad, puppy dog. So now that we know that this is our color, then we know that we can work with any one of these colors from this color wheel. And that's right here beside yellow, number 2. So going across, what is it showing me? It's showing me purple, a darker purple. Look at that. Look at that. Come on, fam. Come on. And I would not have thought to grab amethyst. I would not have thought to grab amethyst. Before having this, I wouldn't have picked that color. I wouldn't have picked that color. I would have tried to do crystal AB or Labrador or black diamond. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have went with amethyst, y'all. I just wouldn't have. Perfect. That's a perfect match. All because of the color wheel. That's complementary. That's the complementary color to go with this. Or if we went triadic, now they're saying we can go with a this is more of a cerulean blue. So they're saying like a cyan or capri, which that is pretty. OMG, good gracious, that's pretty. And they're also saying like I don't know, like a pinkish color. So we probably could do fuchsia. You could do rose. Look at how that's going together. Come on, come through, fam. Come through. Look at that. Look at that. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done this combination. I just wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. Exactly, Sheila. I would have went with a neutral color, like some topaz, or you know what I'm saying, with this color shirt. But that's how awesome this is, and it's all based on the science of color theory. Okay, this is all based on color theory. So we could even put this back. Let's see. This is there. I'm trying to keep my colors in order, y'all. Lord Jesus, I swear I am. All right, so we could even go in order. So they got yellow. They got this green. Let's see what this wintergreen. The wintergreen might be too green. Wintergreen is too green because I'm more over on this side. So let's see what this goes with. That might could work. Look at that. Look at that. Citrine. Or citrine might be too yellow for you. Let's go with jonquil. Is it jonquil? Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Let me slap some. I need somebody to come in so I can slap them. Look at this. Look at that. Perfect. 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 Now, granted, you don't have to buy any one of these. You don't have to. You don't have to buy this. You don't have to buy this. You know, you can just download a color wheel. But Joan made this so easy. I ain't never met this lady a day in my life. But this is so easy that I can do it. So if I can do it, then I know you'll be successful with this. And that's why I'm recommending one of these three. Okay? That's why I'm recommending these. These are you just come through, fam. I'm just saying. See, same principle with the yellow green. That's it right there. This is that shirt. So you know, you come to yellow green, come across, you see what I'm saying? So it's like the principle behind color theory is what makes this work. And she is big into quilting and mixing colors for quilts. So that's why this was perfect. And we're talking about just some bling. Let's pick another color. Let's have fun with another color. So this is one of the shirts that I bought. Let's go with, that might be easy. Let's go with this one. This is like a plum color. This is plum. Actually, no, this is kind of like cheating because we just showed this color, which is amethyst, is the perfect match to this shirt. Amethyst is the perfect match to this shirt. So that's tone on tone. And we already know from doing it earlier that the olivine would go with this shirt. I don't even know why I pulled this shirt out. Let's put this back. Let's put that back. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. Same brand, same shirts. So if you want to be hooked up and looking super cute like I'm gonna be, then yeah, you want to go grab some Wonderly shirts from. And these, they're normally $50. They was nowhere near $50, fam, because I promise you, a heifer is not gonna drop $50 on a sweater. Okay, but they were on a big sale this weekend. All right, so here's golden color. All right, so first off, I'm thinking topaz. Look at that, tone on tone, absolutely gorgeous to add some accents there. You mean a white shirt? We can do a white shirt. Give me a sec. I gotta find one though, because I didn't buy white because my boobs eat with me, even though I don't have a big chest, and I can't. I'm forever staining white. So this is more like a regular everyday wear stuff. I would not wear white on a regular everyday basis, but we'll find some white. But here is the topazish color. So what I'm gonna do this time, instead of using the cards, we're gonna use the color wheel. All right, so this is not necessarily on the color wheel, even though it's kind of orange yellow, but I want to match this a little bit closer. So let's flip it over and we're going to look and see which one of these match it a little bit better. And yeah, I'd say that bottom one is closer to it. So yes, we're going to go with orange yellow. So looking at the orange yellow, if we go straight across, we already know, we talked about it earlier, you can go with cyan, you can go with blue zircon, because that's kind of like that bluish. You can even go I think sapphire might be a little bit too blue, but you might could do a sapphire and get away with it, because it's one of those split complementary. Okay, and if you look at split complementary, you possibly could even do aquamarine with it. Sharon Davenport, these are from Belk. I mean, if you got a Belk card, this was a hot deal. Hot deal on these shirts. That's why I wound up with so many of them, because it was hot. But look at that. That's aquamarine. It goes with it. Split complementary, because it's directly across, but it's in this general. You see what I'm saying? So this color card is hot tamale. It really is. And if we go triadic, then you're talking about aqua green, which is more like your green zircon, and your purple. So that's where you possibly could throw in the blue, possibly. But I think amethyst might be a little bit too not blue enough, but it could work. Look at that. It could definitely work. Look at that. Because it's in the violet category. What is Belk, Jamie? I know you didn't ask that question. It's a department store, kind of like Dillard's or Nordstrom. Nowhere near Nordstrom. Nordstrom is above my attention. I can't even pay attention at Nordstrom. Okay. So this was just simple, information to give you a tool that will help you choose colors that will go with whatever it is that you're trying to wear and not struggle. At the end of the day, it's the struggling for me that I'm just like, are you kidding? What color do I do now? And it's like whenever I have designs that are 2 or 3 colors, I can never come up with the 3 color combination that will give me what I need to not look goofy on camera trying to put a design together. And so I tend to stick to the same complementary neutral colors so that I don't get in trouble with that. But now with this color wheel, it makes it so much easier to find 3 or 4 colors that can come together and make it work. A basketball, I usually go straight for sun, but Mr. McQuacken says that smoke topaz could work for a basketball as well. Look at that. Look. That goes too. Don't be afraid of your browns. Now, this doesn't really go into the browns as much. The cards do. And I think these do as well. Let me see. A little bit of the browns. Not really. Yeah, they do. Right down in here. They come with the browns. The different tones of brown. You can play with browns too, fam. Browns are fun. Good night, Kathy. You're welcome, my love. But these are the two I generally go to for basketball or sun. Tangerine works too. Basketball. Yep. Yeah, combining colors is hard. How do you fit the gold and silver in the colors? I think a lot of us use those for outline. So it's kind of the same principle. So your gold is more of a warm color and your silver is more of a cool color. So a lot of that tends to you still kind of would go with the same trend. You know what I'm saying? So your golds are your warm tones to go together. Now that's going more into tones and stuff. She also has a book called Color Play that will probably help out better with that. But for me, it's pretty much whether the tone is warm, I tend to go more for the gold. And if it's a cooler color, like your blues, I tend to go with a more cool color, which is your silver, your crystal, that type stuff. But of course, you can always buck the trend. Like my absolute all-time favorite rhinestone color combination is Aurum Dorado and Labrador. When you put these two colors together on a design, just these two by themselves, you talking about some sparkling that just it does not make any kind of sense. These two colors together always win. Always win. If it's a two-color design, these two together, you just like, oh my God, that is gorgeous. And it plays so well. These two colors. That's my all-time favorite combination to do. It really is. Like I can't get enough of these two. But I get fussed at, no, you never play with all the colors. And so I have to pull out other colors and do other colors too. Keep it fair, apparently. Along with Frost Ice and Frost Fire. So now let's go to white. So when you're looking at doing a white shirt, dagnabbit, I done got my colors out of order. When you're looking at using white, let's move this out the way first, actually. So white shirts actually are neutral. They're fair game. You can go with any color, but the thing is with rhinestones, white tends to let me see if I can do this, y'all, because this is kind of heavy. Got a bolt of fabric. Matter of fact, let me cut off a swatch because this is dusty and I don't want fabric all over the place. And I don't have a white shirt right here in front of me. Let me see. Do I have? No, I don't have a white shirt. So this is not quite 100% white, but it's close enough. So when you're dealing with white, what? Oh, this has been sitting over here. I'm sorry, y'all. I know it's dusty. I apologize. And furry and stuff from my puppy dog that is gone now. The thing about the color white is the thing about the color white is white reflects light. White reflects light. Whereas black absorbs light. Okay. So this is all getting into science now. This is getting into science. So black, see how the color just gone as soon as I laid this black down because it's dark. It absorbs light. If you cut the lights off in the room right now, all of us it's dark outside. You cut the lights off, you cannot see color because there's not enough light to reflect into your eyes so that you can see color. So because the black absorbs light, it allows the rhinestones themselves to reflect their light. So it lets the fabric absorbs the light behind the rhinestone, and it allows the surface of the stone to be what reflects the light. Hopefully that makes sense. Does that make sense? And I'll explain it another way here in a sec. I gotta go and matter of fact, let me go get that. Hold on. Because I'm gonna show you something else that we all have that'll help. What I'm talking about. So because the black absorbs, it allows the surface of the stone to reflect. But the white reflects light. So in some instances, with some stones, it can kind of take away the reflection of light from the surface of the stone and won't let the stone do what it does. And that's reflect the light very well. So that's why sometimes when we bling on a white shirt, certain colors will still bling pretty hard, but some colors just really don't bling is hard because the white is taking all of the visual from the surface of the stone. And it's kind of similar to if I were to lay this out, it's kind of, it'll still reflect, but it's still, you're look at how the aluminum foil is taking some reflection, and it's reflecting light too. So they're fighting to compete with reflecting the light back to the surface of your eye. Okay, so the white can do the same thing in a lot of instances, but that does not mean that you cannot bling on white. So white, black conceals while where white reveals. That's a very good point to bring out. So that doesn't mean that you can't bling on white, because a lot of these colors will still bling on white fabric. It just will. But when you want your rhinestones to just really pop and really stand out and be like, wow, oh my gosh, that's super blingy. Well, that's where the black shines, because the black doesn't take anything away from the reflection. No matter how you turn that black shirt, that rhinestone is what's going to be what commands all the attention. So that's why whenever we're doing rhinestone work, we generally work with black, because the black allows the stone to do its thing. There's only one color rhinestone that I've had where there's the opposite effect, and that's with my opals. The opal stone, see how this opal is blinging over here in the corner? That's blue opal. Look at how that green and that pink is reflecting the light up here. You see that? But when I put it on the black, sometimes it just doesn't bling as hard. See how it's like it's there and it is blinging. But on white, the opal really stands out and it really shines on white fabric. Your opals are perfect for the white fabric. It really is. But on the black, it kind of, it blings. But on that white, it really blings super hard. See that? This is the only time that I see the opposite between black versus the white shirt. Even on black, that's correct. Even on black. So here's look at that black on that white. But you put that same black, look at that. Look at that. On a black shirt, it's going to bling. Whereas on here, it still blings, but the white, it really stands out on the black shirt. Especially as an accent. Yes, Dennis. Especially as an accent on a black shirt. Jet black is beautiful on black shirts. So, but again, going back to your question, with white, you can use any of these colors. And yes, it will still bling. Don't ever think, that a white shirt is just the wrong shirt to go with. And because white is, a neutral sort of color, you can use white with anything. You really can. Jet hematite is great on a black shirt. Yes, it is. That jet hematite is really nice. Love jet hematite. That's kind of like Labrador. Thank you, Sheila, for reminding me. So let's go and take a look at some designs that you can do just this week with your rhinestones, that you can use your color wheel or your color ultimate 301 color tool to pick your complementary colors, or if you do the color card deck. Either way, these will help you choose complementary colors that will help you with your decision making in choosing colors, whether it be for rhinestones or whether it be for fabric. It doesn't matter. Or interior decorating. Fam, this works even for buying furniture and pictures to hang in your house. This works. These colors work. The way she has this set up, it was like perfect. Like I told you, if I can understand it and get it, then you can understand it and get it. Black diamond is right here. And who is this? EJ's daughter. This is a Patrice go-to. You watch just about any of her videos and she's using black diamond on a black shirt. Black diamond is perfect on a black shirt. Patrice has a ton of designs with black diamond in it, but this is black diamond. Okay. So let's go take a look at some of the designs that are offered to us this week from Dennis at the Rhinestone Mechanic. And then that way you can pick you a design that will go well with your new ability to pick colors. Okay. So let me share screen. Let's get him pulled up and then let's present. Let's share screen. And here is, you're welcome. Here is the Rhinestone Mechanic. And I do have a link directly to our category in the description. But let's go down to right here. If you just go to Rhinestone Mechanic, you can click on the baby's booty on the left-hand side. And then you can go from right here in the middle where it says default sorting. You can go to latest. And here are the designs that are available for this week. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new designs. And then there's also a mystery box that is $2. Now, these designs right now are $5, but $5 is only for the next 24 hours. After that, they go up in price. But for right now, they're $5. Okay. And this right here, this girl power is super cute. That's 2 colors. You could totally get complementary colors to make this design and it'd be super cute. Okay. Totally use this with that same color concept. Same color concept you can do with your girl power and play with your colors. You could even make this 3 colors and do your split complementary, 1 color, 2 color, and do power in a complementary color on the split color. Okay. And again, thank you for the clarification, which this $2 for the mystery box always, no matter when it is. But the rest of these, the ones that are $5, do go up after 24 hours. Bernadette, it's up to you which color chart you want to use. Okay. So again, if you are just, you need to lay out the whole color cards to find the right color to make it what you need it to be and to make sure that you get things done, then get the color card deck. If you want it spot on and you want no room for error, get the color cards, because each card goes on all of those over 100 colors, right? But if you're okay with just using these color swatches and using how I did the green shirt, where I took the green and I matched it with one of these colors on the surface of the card. Let me go back to the green, and how my shirt happened to match with this card. See, if I just had the color wheel, for instance, if I just had this color wheel, these are the colors. on the color wheel. And they have a few variations back here on the back. And I could have matched my shirt with that top color, but to be 100% sure, no questions asked, no room for error, I came and grabbed this, and it gives me way more color variations. You see what I'm saying? Where I can definitely match my color. Or I could have gotten the color card deck with even more shades to match my colors. You see what I'm saying? Or a bigger swatch rather. Instead of this little teeny swatch, it's a whole card that you can use. It's bigger, but you got a whole deck of cards over there that you got to keep up with. Whereas this is all hooked together. You flip out what you need, go from there. But if you're okay with just your basic colors, like if all you're worried about is rhinestones, then you should be okay with just this one. Okay. But this isn't as detailed as the 3-in-1 or the deck of cards. And the 3-in-1 and the deck of cards have the hex code, the CMYK code, RGB codes on them. So if you're into digital designing, you may want the added benefit of those codes. So in my opinion, if I were to choose all over again which one of these I would go with, me personally, because I do like some digital designing, I would go with this one because it gives me way more shades to make sure that I'm matching my colors super closely to, versus this one that just has, a few shades or a few color variations right here on the back. You see what I'm saying? But if I honestly, I want both of these. So one that I'm going to keep here for those detailed projects, and when I'm out doing stuff, this is going to slip right into my pocketbook because this is what it comes in. It's about as big as a CD. Okay. And this is going to stay in my purse from now on, so that when I'm out and about, if I want to match a color, this is what I'm going to have with me. And hopefully that helps. The cards, those are for fun. Those are just, when I'm feeling a little extra and I want to pull out some cards and play with them, look at how they match and get some stuff switched, blah, blah. I'll pull out those cards. But this is going to be my main go-tos for picking out colors. Matter of fact, this will probably stay over there on my cutting table so that when we're blinging designs and stuff, I'll go to this probably based on whatever color main design it is that I want to bling on my shirt. Okay. And for sublimation, yes, this is perfect for hex codes. You need those hex codes when you're doing sublimation. Okay. Especially when you got a picky customer that wants the colors to be exact. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful. It really helped me. And there's a whole lot more about color theory that I did not even go into, y'all. It's a whole lot more to it. Understanding tones, understanding shades, understanding moods of colors. Okay, moods of colors. What do I mean? Like, for instance, whenever you see anything about emergency, whether it be Red Cross, whether it be blood bank, whether it be danger, whether it be stop sign, stop lights, anything that commands your attention that you need to do right then, right now. Look at me. I need you to notice me. A Ferrari going down the road. It is going to be bright red. It is going to be red. Red is a color of action. Red is a color of danger. It evokes that emotion. So we haven't even touched the surface of color theory and how coloring actually can play an even greater role in with the rhinestones. So this is something that I really would like to develop, working a class for the rhinestones on with Patrice, along with another topic that she and I have been discussing, and trying to do another level of doing the rhinestones with a class. Something that'll help you be on top of your game. And out of everybody who would know, 755 definitely would know, because she's an artist. She does work with colors. Or like Richie, who was working with her hairdressing and knowing what colors you need to be dealing with when dealing with a hairdresser, because you need to know how to neutralize certain colors when you're doing somebody's hair. Color theory encompasses so much, from hair to art to clothing to interior decorating to rhinestones to quilting to what color car you drive, what kind of mood it puts you in. Color theory is amazing. It's massive. It's massive. And I'd never be able to teach all of that, but when it comes to the rhinestones, it it would be helpful to give you the information that you need as someone who is selling rhinestones. Now, I'm talking about the people that's doing this as a business. You really want to make sure that you're on top of your game, not just with the best quality rhinestones, not just with awesome designs and learning how to create awesome designs that look great, that translate well when you're blinging them, but you also want to make sure that your colors are on point too. Okay, that's the whole point. That was why we started all of this to begin with. Why we even got into selling rhinestones is to help those who are trying to do this as a business. Now, everybody else is a side benefit. If you just want to have fun with the stones, okay, cool. I don't have no issue with that. But for those that are trying to do this as a business, we need you to be successful. We need you to be what you need to be to sell your rhinestones and to make money, in addition to everything else that you already do as a side hustle or as a business for your designing company or your shirt company or whatever it is. When you're adding rhinestones to it, we want to help you go over the top, okay? As opposed to somebody who is just throwing some stones on a shirt and selling shirts. I'm just saying. Okay. So there's that. That was the whole point of tonight's show mainly. But we did also touch on putting embroidery designs onto these little jump drives and some things that you want to look at that might be causing you trouble. So if you're having trouble transferring designs from this to your your embroidery machine, or if you're having trouble getting them off of your computer to your embroidery machines with one of these, well, we went over that a little bit. One of the first things was make sure you have the right file extension for your embroidery machine. That's super important. You have to have that. Then you also have to make sure the design is the right size for your machine. You have to make sure that this little guy is formatted in the right file format, FAT32, to work with your embroidery machine. And it would also be helpful to have just a small guy, one of these 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 32 gigabytes, not too much more than that, and only a handful of designs on here. Don't go to your embroidery machine with 500 designs and expect it to load all 500 of those designs super quickly, and you find the design you want right away. Don't do your machine like that. Don't be salty. Do it right. Okay. And then we also talked about color theory and some tools that you can use to be successful in picking the colors that you need to coordinate and look really well together. And these guys by Joan Wolfram, this version, and if you go back and watch the video again, there's a deck of cards as well. All of these, the link is in the description. They are on Amazon. They will get to you really quickly, and they are very helpful. I absolutely love these, and I will definitely be keeping these around me at all times. We also talked about Bling Fest. Bling Fest 2024 is still going to be just as exclusive, just as private, because I'm not telling anybody where the Bling Fest is until the last second. It is going to be just as high fancy and falutin as I possibly can, because I mean, it's the finer thing bling. So to not have a finer thing event just really kind of counteracts what we're trying to do here. Okay, we want top tier all over, all of the top. Okay, which is what our goal was, and what we really tried to strive for. Sharon Davenport, thank you so much for your super chat. Holler. I know you gotta go to bed. We're about to log off now because I need to go to bed too. I got a lot to do tomorrow. A lot of flock to roll up. We also talked about bling flings. Okay, so definitely go back and check that out. Bling flings are going to be smaller, more open events, not quite as secretive. We'll let you know where those will be. Friends and family, just bring them on, have a good time. We're gonna bling. Tickets will have to go on sale for that because the place is going to cost. You got to rent a place. Okay, we can't just go to cousin Jane Smith's backyard and have it out there in a tent. That's not gonna work for me. We need an actual location with some climate control and stuff and have a good time and let it be kind of organized. So there's gonna be a charge for tickets, but it just won't be like it is for the Bling Fest. So keep that in mind. And definitely be on the lookout for that information. Viola Floyd, thank you so much for being a member for 19 months. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes. Thank you so very much. And then finally, the flock values have increased. Okay. You can now get more purple flock than just 2 yards. So if you're looking at getting more flock than the 2 yards, then it is now listed on the website. It will come in a roll. If you have bought flock before and we wound it up super tight, I apologize. I did not know. I've never sold flock before, right? So make sure that you lay your flock out and let it flatten before you put it on your cutting machine. If you're cutting it without a mat, because the mat is going to hold it flat. But if you're doing it without the mat, please make sure that you're not cutting it with it curved. Okay, just let it flatten out, even if you got to lay a book or something on it. But from now on, when it comes, it's going to be on a bigger roll, so it will roll out and flatten out a lot better than what we were doing before. So I apologize for being a rookie mistake on that. That was my mistake call. And so definitely check that out. And then I would like to ask you your opinion. If you're interested in 24-inch flock, okay? So currently we do flock in 12 inches. But some of you have the Romeo, which can handle a 24-inch roll of flock, 24-inch wide. And you can get 3 yards or, so many yards that can go on there, but it's 24 inches wide. Would you be interested in that? The topic came up and I was like, I don't know how many people would want that, but a lot of you have the Romeo now. So would you be interested? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the Facebook group. I'm also going to put a poll in the Facebook group. So you can let me know all of those places so that we'll know if it's worth the time and the investment to go with more 24-inch rolls for those who might be interested in it. Okay. And if you'll be interested in a whole roll, 50 yards, let me know. Okay. And again, let me know with, like Dennis pointed out, with his designs. They are in the description below, along with the color charts. That's in the description below as well. On Amazon, you can, with Dennis's designs, they're on sale for 24 hours, but the $2 mystery box is always there. Okay. Sharon Davenport says, just happy to have the purple flock as it has cut better for you. And you, my dear, need to email me. Especially you need to email me. All right. So thank y'all for coming to hang out with me. Let me make sure my husband isn't yelling something that I need to know. I appreciate y'all so very much for coming to hang out with us tonight. This was fun. Like, you do not know how hard it was for me to talk about, how hard it was for me to not talk about this ahead of time. Like, I started to go live since we got back several times to show this, but I had to hold it in and make sure that I had everything to talk about. Cricket Venture will cut 24. Do you have the plastic mat? Oh, that's a good question, Gail. No, my mats are 15 inches and 15 by 12. I have the mats. Those mats that we sell on our website are bigger than the mats at Dollar Tree, but they're not 24 inches. They're not 24-inch block. But usually, so when a person does do 24 inches, I don't think necessarily the whole template itself will be 24 inches big. I think it's more like, I don't know, you could do more than one template at a time in like maybe a 4 grid instead of a strip of 4. I don't know, Miss Gail. That's why I'm asking, because you guys would be, more in control of what you want to do with the 24-inch flock, and a lot of us are just now getting 24 inches, so I don't know, but we'll check with the experts. There's quite a few of y'all in here who have 24 inches and automatically know what the heck you gonna do with it off gate. So we'll hear from a lot of those here soon, and then know what we're going to do. Teresa, it is California is definitely a possibility. Yes, it is. Now I can't guarantee that or when, if it'll be 2024, 2025, or 2026. DD is on our website. So 10 gross, one gross is 144. So if you're trying to find out how many gross is in 50 gross or how many gross is in 20 gross, then you would multiply 20 gross by 144, or you would multiply 50 for 50 gross by 144. And that tells you how many gross is, how many stones is in that amount of gross. But 20 gross is 2,880 stones. And that is on our website. We do have a cheat sheet on the website on every rhinestone, just about. You can click a little purple card and it'll tell you what those are. All right. So thank you guys so very much. I really appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us. It is now 2 minutes after, and I have a date with my bed. So I will talk to you guys later, and I appreciate you hanging with us. And until the next time we see you, we hope you have happy coloring. Have a good night, you guys. Bye. We're going to sensualize you.
How would you define luxury? Your purchase of our rhinestones has put extravagance right at your fingertips. Here at the Baby's Booty, we are taking the standard of luxury and bringing it directly to you. Introducing the perfect companion to your luxe rhinestones, the Baby's Booty Ice Boxes. Our ice boxes are in the perfect sizes to complement your order. Each color in your purchase will be labeled and packaged in these elegant acrylic boxes, ready to display your luxury stones for everyone to see. The Baby's Booty Ice Box, where our bling is the finer thing.